The presentation of AEON Company Berhad presented by AISHAH SYUQAIRAH binti Muhammad RIDZUAN, NORAISYAH binti Muhammad Zainuddin, MASNIRAH binti AMRAN, and one Nur IDAYU binti Muhammad AZMI.
Assalamualaikum and hi, I beat to doctor. My name is MASNIRAH binti AMRAN, so I'm gonna be the first presenter followed by my other team members. I'm gonna start present about the 5 main objectives. The first objective is to determine the SWOT analysis of AEON Mall Malaysia. Secondly, to determine the risk assessment of AEON Mall Malaysia. Thirdly, to conduct the risk analysis of AEON Mall Malaysia. Fourthly, to identify the technique to mitigate the risk of AEON Malaysia. Lastly, to recommend some proactive intervention to improve AEON Mall Malaysia.
Assalamualaikum, my name is AISHAH SYUQAIRAH. I'll be presenting about the project details. AEON Co Malaysia Sendirian Berhad was incorporated in Malaysia on September 15, 1984. The company is a subsidiary of AEON Co Limited Edition, Japan's largest retailer. AEON was founded in response to the Malaysian government's invitation to modernize Malaysia's retailing industry. Moreover, after a 28-year presence in Malaysia, the company officially changed and rebranded from JASCO to AEON in March 2012. The tagline AEON Enriching Your Lifestyle, AEON's primary customers come from middle-income residential families, and it offers quality merchandise at reasonable price on goods, foods, entertainment and services. To provide a constantly refreshing appearance and attraction that satisfies the customers' ever-changing needs and desires, the company continually refurbishes its stores and malls to provide a convenient and conducive shopping experience supported by good facilities and services. AEON is primarily involved in the operation of chain of department stores and supermarkets that sell a diverse range of merchandise, including clothing, food, household products, and other merchandise. As well as more property management services, AEON's business model consists primarily of retail operation as an anchor department store or supermarket, supplemented by shopping mall operations. In some cases, their department store or supermarket serves as an anchor tenant in the mall of third parties. The company manages and operates about 34 stores and manage and handle a total of 26 shopping malls on 31st December 2017. The stores and malls are geographically dispersed throughout Peninsular Malaysia, including Selangor, Penang, Johor, Perak, Melaka and Kelantan.
The company background. The AEON company was first established on 15 September 1984. AEON was incorporated into Malaysia by the Malaysian government's invitation to help modernize the retailing sector in Malaysia. AEON names itself has been formed among the Malaysian. Most AEON stores are located in suburban area that focus on Malaysian middle income groups. Furthermore, AEON is also active in store operation, credit card business services, and many more. AEON Group of Companies is a Japanese corporate retailer, and it is not only being active in Japan but also around Asia and China. AEON has its own trademark customer first philosophy. The trademarks aim to go higher by combining excellent product to make the customer happy. The AEON company history. AEON, known as Jaya Josko, set up in Malaysia due to Malaysian Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad request to help Malaysia retail industry. He thinks that retailer industry in Malaysia need to be upgraded to support the country economic growth. Therefore, he visited Tokyo to discuss the detail on the market penetration and received a positive note to set up the store in Malaysia. All of this was included in Mahathir Look East policy for Malaysia.
Next, we move on to the SWOT analysis, and I'll be presenting for the strength and weaknesses. For the strength of AEON, first, AEON has competent and great performance in new markets. It is because them has built expertise to enter new markets and making success of them. This expansion has helped organization to build new revenue streams and diversify the economic cycle risk in the market in which they operate. Next, AEON has a strong relationship with its dealer that not only provide them with supplies but also focus on promoting the company's product and training to the sales team to obtain the benefits from the product through their customer. Also, AEON has invested extensively in the training of its employees that resulted in it employing a large number of skilled and motivated employees. Then, AEON has a strong financial position with consecutive profits in the past 5 years, along with accumulated profit reserve that can be used to finance future capital expenditures on various projects in the past. Last, the company has an established supply at many places, especially to supply raw material for all their store. This company managed to survive and overcome with any problem with about their supply. And then let's look at the weakness of AEON. AEON product takes time for it to be purchased and sold are higher than the industry average. Means that AEON builds up on inventory, adding unnecessary costs to the business. Thus, it gives impact to long-term growth of AEON. Then, the current ratio that shows the company ability to meet its short-term financial obligation is lower than the industry average. This could mean that the company could have liquidity problem in the future. Next, AEON's current structure and culture have resulted in the failure of various mergers aimed at vertical integration. The workforce at AEON is concentrated with mostly local workers and low amount from other racial backgrounds. Lack of diversification makes it difficult for the different racial background to adjust the workplace. And last, AEON need to more invest in new technologies based on expansion and different geographies that the company plan to expand. Moreover, AEON needs to invest more in technology integrate process across the board because investment in technologies was not the vision of the company. Thank you. That's all from me.
Opportunity. First, the cost of transportation can be reduced by lowering haulage price, as well as take down the price of AEON's product. Second, AEON company has made investment in online shopping platforms, where this channel can gain a new customer from all over the world. Threats. First, the low quality and French products are part of AEON threats and limitation, as all these products came from low income. Second, scarcity of skilled workforce in several worldwide is considered as threats, because without the expert, AEON is not able to maintain its profit steady growth.
Next, the impact on risk evaluation represents the severity. In other words, the impact is the level of severity that risk will occur. There are 3 parts of severity: high risk, medium risk, and low risk. The scale of impact being shown at the table beside me. Frequency on the risk matrix represents the likelihood. In other words, likelihood is the level of frequency and severity that risk will severe. Scale using rating 1 to 5 represent 1 highly likely and while 5 is highly unlikely, as been shown at the slide beside me. Based on table of the risk evaluation, it can be concluded that the impact of the risk is high and medium because it has a severe impact on the AEON Mall business. For example, risks related to securing and cultivating human resources have 5 scales to the company because due to the global requirement of management skill and leadership. Same goes with the other risks except risk for capital procurement, interest rate, and exchange rate speculation because its scale is 3. However, the likelihood show different results. For example, securing and cultivating human resources has 1 score of scale which will likely be severe to the AEON Mall, as it often happens in improving the skill of their employees to expand their business. Secondly, the change in environment scale is 2 due to the ongoing changing of the customer. Both risk 1 and 2 have the same color in the risk matrix, which is orange, as been shown in the slide beside me.
Assalamualaikum, my name is IDAYU. In this section, I will explain further regarding the risk assessment and risk management techniques of AEON Mall Malaysia. The 3 categories of risk that have been identified are business strategy risk, financial risk, and operational risk. Now, I will explain to you the risk item in each category one by one. First is business strategy risk. According to AEON Mall Malaysia, 2 risk items were assessed severely. The first one is a risk related to securing and cultivating human resources, and the second one is the risk associated with environmental changes. Both risks need urgent measures for AEON to sustain its business locally and internationally. For the first risk, AEON decided to pursue a growth strategy by investing in human resources and establishing a wide range of programs to cultivate and educate human resources. For the second risk, AEON pursues property development and opens new locations in urban areas with high market growth potential. The second category is financial risk. There are two highlighted risks under this category, which is risk related to capital procurement, interest rate and exchange rate fluctuation, and the second one is impairment risk. The first risk is assessed as medium risk, while the second is assessed as severe risk. However, both of them need an urgent measure so that AEON can maintain its profitability through an excellent financial statement. The proposed measures to face issue 1 is AEON makes an effort to maintain and improve credit ratings by controlling its interest-bearing debt balance. Next, for the second risk, AEON formed a response project team to take action primarily to improve profitability and reduce the risk of impairment. The third category is operational risk. Example of the risk categorized under operation are risks related to natural disasters and accidents and the risk associated with the spread of infectious disease. Both risks are assessed as severe and in need the urgent action. The action taken by the AEON management team is to strengthen the risk response systems to minimize the harm caused in emergencies and take measures to prevent the spread of infection through meticulous health management. Now let's move on to the subsequent explanation, which is the risk management techniques. By referring to the risk analysis segment, I have identified the proper risk management techniques for each risk items mentioned before. The techniques are risk avoidance, loss prevention, retention, and loss reduction. The first one is AEON Mall uses risk avoidance techniques to avoid hiring incompetent employees and establish a wide range of programs to cultivate and educate human resources. For the second risk management technique, AEON implements loss prevention techniques to secure a market position as the dominant mall in each region to increase their market share through localization efforts. Next, AEON formed a response project team to take action to improve profitability and reduce the risk of impairment. And lastly, AEON took the measures by enforcing strict health management to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Next, AEON Mall uses retention techniques to require capital at fixed interest rates and exchange rate fluctuation risk by currency swaps. Last but not least, AEON applied the loss reduction technique when they decided to install the plate water stop in the mall at risk of flood damage. Okay, that's all for risk assessment and risk management techniques. Thank you from me.
Recommendation. First, improve and educate human resource. To improve the human resource, they should have a strong team with professional, experienced employees who are able to stay in the company for a long time period. Creating a great relationship between others is to make sure the employees be more motivated and become more productive in the organizations. AEON can educate their employees to improving their skills by giving them opportunity and chance to develop. AEON also can provide online classes or training to their employees. Second, improve communication in crisis management. To improve the communication in crisis management, all of the organization need to identify all possible types of crises that could happen in the company. If it was the natural crisis and accidents such as flood, heavy rain, human accidents such as fire and outage that could have the power to damage and destroy the company, they need to take an actions. For example, the action that they can do are strengthen the risk response systems to minimize the harm or install the plate water stop in mall at risk of flood damage. Third, improve the mall environment and operation. During COVID-19 pandemic, the AEON Mall should improve the mall environment and operation to ensure the company, staff, and communities are safe. For example, AEON Mall should be enabling the physical distancing and everyone should follow the SOP. For its expand the property development, it is the opportunity to widen the property markets and goods. It might be factor that the environment has changed due to the consumer behavior. It's important to discover a suitable property first before making any decisions, because companies need to find the right place that can give a lot of benefit to them. For example, choose a location at an urban area that have a high market potential growth.